Okay, and we are live. Hello, and welcome to the BL Week in Review, where we talk about all things BL.
Yes, we start with some tea / what was trending last week. We go into what series started, what series ended, and then we wrap it all up with our spoiler section, which today will include Cat for Cash and Peach Lover. So if you'd like to talk more about either of those, stick with us till the end.
I'm your host, BL Songbird.
And I'm your host, Beth.
And before we get going, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and join our live chat. Everybody's super friendly and really gets into talking about all of the shows that are airing or have ended. So super fun. Um, and let's get going. Everyone loves a little tea. Beth, take it away.
All right. So the first one we have here is Starstruck Media has announced their normal way of announcing things, which is a shadow. So more boys are coming to the US. A lot of people from the shadows are assuming that they are Dumandi boys. We think that they are Thomas Kong and Titi Por, which if it's Titi Por, I will freak out. If people don't know, they are I love them so much. But I'm super excited because that means more Dumandi boys have come, because so far Xenu New have been the only ones who have ever come to the US. And they were like actually the first big couple, period, to come to the US. So I'm excited.
This guy on the far right does look like who would it be? Titi?
Actually, the one on the right looks like Poor.
Oh, okay. I have them backwards, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Poor. Yeah.
Poor is
okay.
like a smaller face, and his hair is more like closer to his head usually.
It's just like the way he's leaning too. I don't know.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited regardless. I'm curious to see what cities it'll be in, because it hasn't announced cities. However, it is in August, which is the same month that all of the Lycan tours are happening in the US. So save up your money, friends. It's all going to be happening in August.
Yeah, apparently that would need all of the funding that month for sure. All right, what else have we got here? Oh,
okay.
snap. Look at that.
So this is super exciting. I am not going to say this name right, but there's an awards company that basically in Thailand, it's like the equivalent of the Emmys. It's a really big deal, and it's usually reserved for quote unquote like straight shows. Like BL is not very often part of these nominations, and if they are, or if they have been part of the nominations, they get nominated for like 1 or 2 categories. But Kenjira has like broken a record basically by getting nominated for 8, I believe, for 8 awards in this awards show, which is so exciting for them. So many categories there, and I'm just super excited that they are being honored in that way. So we'll see if they win anything. It's probably going to be pretty rare for them to win anything, but it's just exciting that they got nominated.
Absolutely. That's super exciting.
Yeah.
And then, there's more.
Yes, and so Goddess, Bless You from Death, also got nominated. They got nominated for 5 awards, I believe, and that is also a really big deal. I think both of these series really deserve it, because they both really elevated the story and elevated the cinematography and everything. So I think that I'm super excited for both of them to be part of this.
It looks like they're going to be directly competing in a couple of categories.
Yeah, true.
Here we go. Oh man, yes. Let's go.
What is it? Me and Peach, is that right? Or
Peach and me, it looks like.
Peach and Me had their first read through. So, I mean, I don't know how William and Esther are going to do this, because William is doing Lycan, and they're doing You Maniac, and now they're reading through for Peach and Me. William's brain is going to be like, how many characters am I going to be at once? But it'll be fine.
Hopefully, maybe. Maybe they'll still have more of a supporting role, and like William will not be like mind blown too badly.
That's true. That's true. It's probably only going to be a few episodes. It's probably not going to be too crazy. I'm sure that he
I
can,
feel like
but
I feel like Pooh said 5 or 6 or something
okay,
like that.
okay. So, and it's just the read through, you know, they're probably not starting filming yet. So, it'll be fine. It's just a lot, you know, to handle 3 different characters at once. Boone was filming 3 different series at once, and Boone was like, never again. He was like, I
Maybe
cannot.
William will be like that too. Maybe William will be like, nope, only try it ever once, and then that is it.
Right?
That's all you.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
I'm excited though. I love me and T is my favorite. I don't know if it'll end up staying up at the top all year. We'll have to wait and see in December. But oh man, I can't imagine being up there at the end still.
Right? Okay, so this is just some random tea that popped up on my feed, and I was like, excuse me. So apparently, there was this boy band group project, who knows what it was, that was created like before Gemini joined GMMTV. Him and Poor are in this boy band group project thing, and someone pulled up this old photo, and I was like, oh my God. Gemini and Poor are
Oh,
so
there's
young.
Gemini.
Yeah, like they're so young in this picture, you can barely recognize them. It's so crazy. And I was like, Poor has literally been in this industry for so long. I think he joined when he was like 15 or so. He started joining all these like idol trainee programs and stuff like that. And I was just like, man, he really has been doing this for forever.
It's true. Gemini's also very baby in that picture. Goodness gracious.
Yes,
Okay.
I know. He's probably like 16 or 17. I don't even know. Oh my gosh.
No, it's got to be younger than that. That kid looks because he joined GMMTV at 16 or 17, and my
Right.
school president was this. He looks like he's 14 or something.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, if it's 2018 there, we can do math, but
We could do math.
yeah.
That is so true.
Well,
The math isn't mathing.
I don't remember how old Gemini is now, so it's hard to do math.
21?
Maybe. So
I think
18.
either 21 or 22. Would that
like
be?
8-ish years ago, so that's 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Yeah, probably like 15 or 14 years old. You're right. Wild.
Yeah, 5. So it's 2026, 6 years ago to 2020, and then 2 more years beyond that. That's 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Oh man, baby, total baby.
Literally.
Okay, onwards.
Oh my gosh, is this new news? Okay, so normally we don't talk about. No, we don't have to read all this, but normally we don't really talk about controversial tea. But I just wanted to bring this up because I really appreciate that Nunu said something. I don't know the specific incident that sparked this post, but a lot of the actors, as we know, like they see the fan wars that happen. They know what's going on. Half the time they're literally sitting next to the person whose fans are fighting with their fans, you know? And so they're like, hey guys, have you seen that our fans are fighting? And so Nunu posted a post, and basically here he iterates that, you know, I love all my fans. I truly believe that most of my fans are lovely, lovely people. However, I do see the fans that are not lovely. And he's like, I hope that we can be really kind to each other. And, you know, you guys represent us also. And so I don't want people to think that my fandom is a bad fandom or mean or rude or anything like that. And he says it in a very nice, beautiful way. I mean, obviously, I'm reading the translation from Google, but I know that Nunu speaks very well. And he wrote a very, very lovely paragraph that basically says that, you know, he appreciates the fans, but he wants them to think twice before they say bad things or before they, you know, show hate to somebody else. And I just wanted to point it out because I think it's something that we can all learn from and think about. It's like, you know, yes, it takes you 2 seconds to say something mean online, but it really does affect the artist. Like there are some artists there have been people who've come out as part of the industry and say, like, there are some actors who don't get hired for certain jobs because people say, oh, their fans are crazy and they don't want to work with them. And it's unfortunate because the artist is not their fans, but the fans are going to come to the event. So if the fans are going to come to the event and you don't like how the fandom is and how they act, you're not going to hire the artist. So I just think it would be good for all of us to think about the artists that we love and appreciate, and think about how we want them to be perceived by other people and have people perceive us the same way. So that's all.
Absolutely. Yeah, and this tea, I don't know if it's related. I feel like I heard this tea. It may or may not be related to some leaked private messages that never were meant for public eyes in the first place.
Interesting. Okay.
Which is unfortunate. Like, I don't know. And that just is a reiteration of let's be kind to each other.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, and also as part of that tea, like New personally called, again, I don't know exactly what happened, but New personally called artists that were involved and apologized. And
wow.
I hope that most of the artists were like, why are you apologizing? It's not your fault. But he just felt so responsible. And I just hope that any fan that was part of that altercation thinks about that and just takes a step back and is like, wow, what I did caused my artist that I say that I love to like bow down and apologize to other people. You know what I mean? So hopefully, you know, it just is a little wake up call for certain people. That's all.
Absolutely.
All right. Next. Okay, cool. So we always love when actors come out as queer or come out as, you know, whatever they feel like they are in the universe. And this was part of an interview, I'm assuming. I didn't actually see the whole live, but apparently Off from GMMTV was asked, you know, what gender he prefers, and he said anything. He said anyone, basically. So, you know, most people are like, hey, that's cool. Like, he's part of the queer community. And just to add to this, I didn't add the post, but it's not BL, but it's GL, so it's adjacent. P. Ploy from GMMTV also came out as queer. Someone had asked her, she had posted like a question thing in her story, and she answered and posted the story, and she was like, I don't define love. I just kind of go with whatever feels right for me. And so it was so exciting. At least I think it's so exciting.
Let's celebrate queerness. I love it. And also let's keep in mind that we need to take what these actors have to say at face value. If they say they're queer, then they're queer.
Yeah. That's also a little bit of the controversial side, is that I did see a lot of posts and comments saying, oh, it's fan service, you can't believe them. And it's like, you know, it takes a lot of courage to come out, especially when you're in the Thai industry, because for anyone, really,
any entertainment industry.
Yeah, any entertainment industry, it's like really, really tough to come out because it can affect your work and it can affect your image, unfortunately. Yeah. And so I think that we need to honor the fact that they came out as queer and mentioned something. And
honestly, everyone,
kindness.
Over and over again, like, these guys aren't just in a ship, they have individual work, and being queer would negatively impact some of that independent work.
Definitely
something to keep in mind.
We
just have to honor their words, right? Let's honor their words. They say they are, then they are.
Lead with kindness, everyone. We all need more of that.
Lead with kindness. This is a day of kindness. I love it. Okay, onwards.
So, okay, this is just one little piece of this entire event, but the entire Doomandi company went to Japan these last couple days, and this is all of them except for a little bit of Gen 6 that went, and Copper, because unfortunately Copper from Gen 5, something happened with his work visa, probably because he was in London, or he was in, it's not London. He actually is in, I think, Nottingham, wherever he's studying. He was not in Thailand for a lot of this last month, and so he probably wasn't able to come to Thailand for like visa appointments and stuff like that, so he couldn't perform with them. But anyways, if you follow any Doomandi actors channel at all, You will see so much content from these last couple days. Everyone was hanging out with each other. Everyone was giving content. They had Dumundi World in Japan. So they did a full concert with everyone from the company.
Cool.
And they did 2 rounds of it. And it was just so fun. I love seeing all the Dumundi boys hang out with each other because they never get to see each other. Like, so everyone's so busy and so like running around. Maybe they see each other when they're doing makeup, but it was just really cool to see the entire group collected and all of their fun content. Like, please scroll through some Dumundi actors because you'll find a lot of fun stuff.
Very cool. That's awesome.
It was very
And then
awesome.
finally, we have just a little announcement from Gaga Ooh La La. They have decided to start doing vertical series. I know Beth and I have similar feelings about vertical series, but still, you know, they're jumping on the bandwagon. So,
and you know, I guess it makes sense because iQIYI is doing vertical series now. If anyone hasn't noticed, there is a like vertical drama or shorts. I forget what it's called. I think it's vertical drama on there. So they do have like
maybe, yeah.
A tag.
And there are a lot of them too. A lot of BL vertical dramas floating around out there. So if you like that format, go and check all of them out. We here at BL Week in Review do not announce all of the vertical short dramas because we would be here forever.
We would be here forever. There are too many. However, there are lots of fun ones to explore. Some are really good. Some are really bad. You know, it runs the whole gamut. So, you know, have fun, explore. There's lots of other apps that have the vertical dramas, but it's fun that Gaga is now picking some up.
Yeah, and Black and White is Real, I hear, is one of the good ones. These 2 actors were also in a horizontal series. Oh gosh. Taiwan last year, and they decided to keep working together, and so produce this by themselves.
Oh,
that's kind of cool.
I like it's too tiny for me to see who they are, but I'm sure I probably saw the series they were in, so that's fun that they're still working together. I love that.
Yeah, the actors' name are Andy Ko and Nelson G. I don't remember the series title right now.
The oh my gosh, the one about the dentist, My Tooth, My Love, or whatever it was.
No, that was a long time ago. Last year it was the one about the undercover cop living. I think the undercover cop living with the person who works at a shop that does anything,
like
literally anything.
I am totally blanking. It's not Kiseki, is it?
Kiseki. Hey, I remember the premise. There's something anyways.
Oh,
I'm sure someone in the chat has like already said the title for us.
Oh, Fight for You. Oh,
Fight for you. There it is.
Oh my gosh, I loved those actors. Oh my, wait, now I have to watch this series because I did not know that they did this one. I think that they had such good chemistry, and I loved Fight for You.
Right.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Asel. That's amazing.
Yeah, so I haven't watched this yet, so I've also been meaning to actually watch this one. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's available on yet another platform, so that's exciting.
Huzzah! DeLorean says the verticals all cost an additional subscription. I wonder if Gaga will charge extra too. Oh, maybe I just have a fancy subscription of iQIYI then, because I can watch the verticals on iQIYI, but I don't actually know what subscription I have to iQIYI. I think I just have the regular VIP though. I'm not sure.
I can also watch them, but I have the VIP that unlocks episodes that would be locked for the lower subscription level.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, well that's good to know.
So if you don't have that, I mean, you probably do, because those K-dramas, you know, we get to watch 2 a week. And if you don't have that extra, you only get to watch 1.
Yeah, I don't have that extra, but you know, I'm being sneaky. We'll just say that.
Oh, well, sneaky, eh? Okay.
Just for those, because I just haven't paid for the extra crazy iQIYI subscription. People don't follow me watch them legally, please. It supports the actors. Don't be like me.
Absolutely. Support the actors 100%. We support actors here. Okay, so I pulling in the chat so I can see it too. Everything was hidden for a little bit there while I was scrolling through tea. Okay, what else have we got going on here?
All right, so now what's coming soon, Songbird?
Oh, I better, say that part, huh? Here we go. Okay. First on our list is a show titled Winter Fever. It is premiering on March 26th, which is Thursday.
Thursday.
It is from South Korea. It is on the True Film YouTube channel. And I watched the little teaser, and it seems like a story about relationships. Like one of the relationships seems to already be in place, and like so an established relationship, but the one of the men seems like they're maybe like stuck or feeling a little bit overly coddled or something along those lines. And at the end of the teaser, a second man appears who wants to quote unquote take him. So
Okay.
I'm just like, well, there's that. That's not exactly a premise that I particularly enjoy. So I don't even know if I know we watch episodes once, but I would have seen this and been like, this one's not for me, just from the teaser alone. So for you guys, I'll watch episode 1 and I'll let you know what we think when it comes out. All right. The next series is Wishing Upon the Shooting Stars. And this series, after having watched the preview today, is for me 1000%. It is also starting on Thursday, March 26th. It's from Taiwan. We haven't had many. Have we had any? Is this our first Taiwanese series this year? I feel like it might be.
This year?
This year. I think
think
so.
so, because Sammy's Children's Day doesn't count.
No, that's Hong Kong.
Yeah. I think so. Someone correct us.
We have our first Taiwanese series. It is everywhere. It is I'm going to list all the platforms because who knows who from around the world is watching at the end of the day. So, Gaga Ooh La La, Vicky, and iQIYI for those over here in the West. But we also have Line TV, Heavenly, Yoku, and Rakuten TV as well. So there's lots of options.
They are trying to like get it out to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's about more about a location. There's an island, and in this series, an island, and I don't know because it's a fantastical element on this island. Wishing upon shooting stars, like those wishes actually come true.
Ooh, okay.
Right?
Interesting. I wonder.
And so that's like super. That was super interesting to me. Very different, and that is the premise for this story.
I wonder if it's gonna be like every episode is a different story. Did it seem like that from the trailer?
It's hard to say. It seemed like multiple like relationship types of stories going on.
Okay.
I don't know how many. It seemed like there was at least 3.
Okay. So yeah, maybe,
so I don't know.
Maybe it's gonna kind of jump around, or like each episode is gonna be like a different person who gets their wish, granted or something. I don't know. That sounds really interesting. I love that.
Super, super interesting. Yeah, so I'm actually kind of excited about that one. I was like, oh, okay, let's go. There's 2 series to kind of hype up this week, this year. 2 series hype up this week. That one. So yeah, everybody check that one out. It looks super fun. The other one, everybody's stoked about because we've been waiting forever, and that is Love Upon a Time. It's finally coming. It starts on Friday. Thailand this time. It's going to be on IGE. It's from Domundi. So we were just talking about Domundi. This is their newest series. And I don't know. I know the premise is a lot more complicated than this, but the core of it is a boy goes back in time. So that is where I'm going with it.
I mean, yes, a boy goes back in time, and we don't necessarily know. Well, granted, I haven't watched the trailer because, as I've said before, sometimes I don't like watching trailers because they give too much away. But
True.
I'm sure there's something he ends up having to do in the past that he's supposed to accomplish. But yes, it is about a boy that goes into the past. And, you know, I kind of just want to recount the story of how this series came to be because it's just worth telling. So this story, if people don't know, it was going to be Nett and James originally. They were in bed friend together and they had this story planned. And then James decided to go more down the idol route. He really wanted to work on his singing and his dancing. So Nett lost the partner, but he wanted to continue doing the show. So he was like, off, I want to keep doing this series. Like, let's recast my partner. So Nett went and found JJ on his own. He had to go out and like, he wanted to find the perfect person for him. And he really, really liked JJ. Then Latte, the second couple was supposed to be Latte and First One. Latte and First One were paired together, like, supposed to be in this like a long time ago. And then Doomandi friendship happened and Toll came in and just kind of messed up everything. Although, you know, they're very happy in their current couples. I think everything turned out for the best. However, then Latte lost his partner. But Latte was like, I want to stick with this series. I'm going to be here too with Nett. And so then they had to find a partner for Latte. Then they found Kim, who is lovely and beautiful, and we love him. And I think he's the perfect casting for that part. But in the process of all of that, I think we've waited about maybe 5 years for this series, potentially more. I'm not even sure. So she's gone through a lot. Please support her. I think it's actually going to be really good because the same director who directed Kemjira is working on this one. And I think that he put his blood, sweat, and tears into it. And they had to deal with flooding. They had to deal with all of these, you know, environmental elements. And I'm really excited to see the outcome of all of that hard work.
Absolutely, 1000%. It's going to be fantastic. The trailer gave nice, strong, like cinematography vibes. So I have my fingers crossed.
Yay!
That we're going to have something fabulous on our hands. So there seems to be like some couple. I mean, I know A Boy Goes Back in Time is something that's happened several times now. We'll see how they do it differently than some of what we've seen in the past. So that'll be like really fun.
We're due. I liked Memoir of Rati. I feel like we're due for another good period piece. So I'm excited.
That's true. I like that we're getting more and more of those. Okay. Yes. So we're moving into what started this last week. We're always let you know, is it worth binging or should you watch it week to week? We've checked them out. We're here to let you know. Let's get into it.
Yes. Okay. So first one is Contrast. Episodes 1 and 2 came out, but I believe that it's just airing on Fridays. It's from Japan, and it's going to be on Gaga Ulala, or it is on Gaga Ulala. It's romance, drama, and it's like our classic high school drama. This popular boy ends up getting intrigued by this loner boy, and, you know, they end up hanging out on the rooftop together and spilling all their deep, dark secrets to each other, and, you know, probably falling in love, I'm assuming. But I will have to say that, like, even with that kind of sort of basic storyline, I really enjoyed the first couple episodes. Like, they're both very charming and very, relatable, and I don't know, their chemistry is just fun. I like it, even though it's a story we've seen before. I really liked the actors who are playing it, so I don't know, since it's coming, I feel like this one might be better binged. I know I never say that, but since it is sort of like a more simple story, I don't know if you have to like watch it week to week and like be on the edge, like waiting to see what's happening next. I think you can probably just wait and then watch the whole thing and just kind of live in like the fluffy land of, you know, this with a little bit of drama added, I'm sure, high school love story.
Absolutely. And it does really feel like a typical Japanese high school love story. It had classic BL vibes to it. And yeah, I would say binge it too. It's one of those stories that it was 8 episodes, all were released at once in Japan. So that's saying something.
Oh, okay.
And you know, we only got the first two, and then it seems like Gaga Ulala kind of gives you a hint of what's happening in the future. They only put up the little preview tag for the third episode. So it seems like we're going to be getting week to week, guys. So we'll have to wait a few weeks. But yeah, I think this one would be better binged as well. In fact, I intend on binging it myself.
There you go.
There you go. All right. So next we have a series titled Flavor of Us. Episodes 1 and 2 aired this week. It's on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's from Thailand. It's on the Yzilla, like the letter Y, and then like Godzilla, Zilla, Yzilla YouTube channel. It's got food, it's got cooking, it's got romance, it's got drama. There are no English subtitles. Correct. And I don't know if they'll be added later, but there aren't any now. So for me, it's because my brain is somewhat scrambled lately. It's more or less inaccessible.
Yeah, I will say I did watch at least episode 1. I think I got most of the idea. Basically, the one main character is a cook and he works for his family's restaurant. And it's very clear that his dad is very traditional. I can't tell if the entire restaurant only serves traditional Thai cuisine, but it seems like it does. And the son is trying to like switch it up. He wants to explore. He wants to experiment. He wants to add like modern flavors to the traditional Thai cuisine, and his dad is like, no, what are you doing? Like, this is based on tradition, and this is, you know, blah blah. And so like the first episode ends with them fighting it out, and the dad is like, if you want to do that, you have to go somewhere else, and I'm like kicking you out. And so the son is like, fine, I leave. And so that's how episode 1 ended. And then the other character seems to be, it was hard to tell with my small knowledge of Thai and also just from what was happening. I think that he is either a food critic or he owns his own restaurant that's really, really, really well known. I think that it might be closer to that, but he like came into the family restaurant and was like critiquing their food essentially. But he apparently was like a teacher of the son at some point and had really like laid into him. And so the son was trying to kind of get revenge and like brought out a dish that he didn't order and was like, well, what do you think of this? Blah, blah, blah. So it seems like it might actually be interesting. I mean, I always love the shows about cooking, although without English subtitles, it's going to be really tough to like understand all the intricacies.
There's actually an update on that. Episode 1 was just subbed.
Wait, really? Oh, amazing. Thank you, Cognac Girl. So wait, I'll have to rewatch it then and see if what I think I know is correct.
Update.
I'm super happy that they're subbing it because I think, I mean, it's definitely one of your more low budget series. You know, the actors are clearly newer, but I don't know. I think that the storyline might be interesting. And I think that, like I said, any shows about cooking and learning more about like Thai culture and cuisine is always really interesting to me. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Huzzah.
Very fun. Huzzah. All right.
All right. Oh, okay. So I have to talk about this. This is not necessarily an episode 1 because it came out like a few weeks ago, I think, but YouTube brought this back to my attention. If anyone remembers that show called Couple or Not, it was a Chinese / maybe Taiwanese. I honestly don't know because my drama list is not the be all end all for information, but my drama list says China, but the YouTube channel says Taiwan. So I don't know. However, it is a show where they're speaking Mandarin, and it was Omegaverse, and it was released in 2024, and it was behind a paywall, I believe, but then it like disappeared from the earth. It just disappeared into the ether, and people couldn't find it. People could not watch it. It wasn't even on, like, you know, if you're trying to be sneaky, it wasn't even in any of those places. And people were like, how can I watch this show? And apparently the YouTube channel, it's called YS-Drama YouTube channel. They are re-releasing the show, and I'm so excited. So the first 4 episodes are free on the YouTube channel. You'll have to kind of scroll through. It's a little confusing. I think whoever is uploading the channel doesn't understand how to add multiple language subtitles to one video. So they've uploaded it in every language. So there'll be like 5 or 6 episode 1s, 5 or 6 episode 2s in each language. So I appreciate their effort. But yeah, so they've uploaded the first 4 episodes, and then you have to go behind a paywall on, I think it's called Ko-fi, or maybe you pronounce it coffee. It's like KO-FI, but they say that it is literally for the price of a coffee. So I'm assuming that it's not that expensive to pay for the last 4 episodes. So yeah, if you want to watch all 8 episodes, they are now re-airing. And I just think that's super cool, because it was literally like this it was like this hidden thing that no one could find, and now it's airing again. And I would say try to watch it now before it gets taken down again. So anyways, the premise is about this guy who ends up waking up in a parallel universe, and all of a sudden he's in Omegaverse and he's pregnant, and he's like, what is happening? So I just thought that sounds like a really interesting premise. It was a big deal back then, because this was before ABO Desire came out. So any mention of Omegaverse was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, anyways, that is,
there you go.
Yeah, it's on the YS-Drama YouTube channel, and I don't know what it's kind of, they're uploading stuff as they go, so it's not really airing on a certain day. They might have actually uploaded all the episodes now in Ko-fi or coffee, however you say that. So yay!
And again, that's titled Couple or Not. So
yes,
we have a little excitement going on there. It's very cool.
Exactly.
All right. So not a whole lot started, but we have quite a bit that ended. And we're moving on.
We do. Okay, so we did talk about Countdown to Yes last week, because technically it did end last week, but it had a special episode this week. So we're going to talk about it again. It was from Japan. It was on Gaga Ulala. It now has 11 episodes with a special episode. They're all about 25 minutes. It is romance drama, friends to lovers. I thought the special episode was very cute. It's like them, you know, trying to figure themselves out after they just started dating. And I don't
honestly, I can see why Gaga labeled it as the finale instead of episode 10 as the finale, because it's not like a side story. It really is just a direct continuation from episode 10.
It's true. That's very true. It literally just continues the story. I mean, I guess maybe they wanted the button of the finale to be like, oh, we're kissing on the beach. But, you know.
I can see it. Yeah, no, I feel like it was an excellent ending to the story, to be honest, and felt satisfying rather than like, oh, ending with the kissing on the beach. I don't know. I feel like that kind of ending that they put in this special episode is a lot more satisfying. How do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like that kind of ending is more satisfying?
I think that I don't know. It's hard to tell now, because I felt like last week was the finale and that this was a continuation. But if I didn't know that last week was the finale, like if I didn't read the subtitle that said finale, I don't know. I think because it could have ended last week, if that makes sense. Like that episode could have been the finale. And so this just felt like an extra bonus. And I guess if it did end this way, that would have been fine too. That's a tough question. It's hard to say after the fact.
I just feel like most romantic epic sweeping romantic dramas end with the kiss on the lips declaration part.
They do.
They don't lead you into the what comes after.
Yeah. No, I will say that my favorite
So
part of a series is what comes after, and we rarely get to see it. And so I did like the little special episode. It just ended like softly, it was like a soft, cute ending. I enjoyed it.
yeah. Yeah, and like I don't know, I was always passionate about this when I was younger. I was like, since all of the little girls watching all the romances, they never see beyond the declaration or the kiss. They think that's like that's it, all the rosiness, right? We don't talk about the nitty-gritty work that it takes to be in a relationship.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see beyond the cute part in this
Yes,
particular show.
definitely. Osla is asking, I have heard rumors that not all of the episodes of Couple or Not have subtitles. Interesting. Can someone confirm? Well, Osla, I plan to I plan to pay and go behind the paywall at some point. So I will confirm maybe next week and let you know. But yeah, I mean I'm assuming that the first 4 episodes do because they uploaded them all in different, with different subtitles. But I mean, if those have different subtitles, I would assume that the rest do, because that would be odd. But sometimes channels do odd things. So I can't confirm right now, but maybe I can confirm next week.
There you go. Yeah, I just still find it highly entertaining. And maybe that's why they didn't think it had subtitles because they were on the wrong version of it.
That's also possible.
You never know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next show that just finished today is Cat for Cash. It is the first and Cow Tongue series from GMMTV. And it's from Thailand. It is on Gaga Ulala, and I believe in some countries it's on YouTube. Not positive about that, but I think so. There are 10 episodes. Each episode's like 45 minutes to an hour. It is romance. It is drama. It is fantasy. I forgot to put comedy on there. It is comedy. It's all the things wrapped up into one show. The general premise is a cat cafe owner passes away. Yes, there is an early ending to one of the characters, just FYI, if that kind of thing triggers you, and leaves her abilities to a debt collector, which is kind of funny. What abilities does she have, everybody? Well, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not to tell what abilities she has. Let's just say she has some really cool abilities. Um, yeah, so it's a really, really fun story. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll have hard eyes at some point, and you will learn a heck of a lot about cat behavior if you decide to watch Cat for Cash.
There you go. And we will talk more about that in the spoiler section today.
Yes, we will. And I think that anybody who is a cat lover would love this show. Just a really sweet series. Yeah.
Yay. I'm glad. I will say I gave up on Cat for Cash. I did not enjoy it. However, there are so many people, including Songbird, who loved it and or really enjoyed it. And so I think
Absolutely.
it must just not be my cup of tea, which is totally fine. So I am super happy that people enjoyed it. I also heard from my Thai friends that the script is really funny in Thai. I mean, obviously, like it was cute and funny in English too, but apparently maybe the way the words they're using or things like that are just like really funny in Thai. So I think that it might lose a little bit of that maybe on me, or for anybody,
Thailand likes their, what would it be? The words that sound similar. I guess that's, I don't remember what that's called, but they like their, they're like punny.
Yeah. So I
And
think
that punny wouldn't translate probably to English.
exactly. Yes.
And for all I know, I was laughing at some of those things that I didn't even realize I was laughing at, from my knowledge of Thai. That would
Yeah.
be very entertaining to go back and analyze my own reactions to things and see what I thought was
Right?
funny was because it was English funny or if it because it was Thai funny. I
Yes.
don't
Well,
know.
I am clearly the outlier in this group because Katie and Valerie also loved it. And so I am just, I don't know. I don't know why. I thought it was really boring. I just gave up. I was like, I can't get through this. I don't know why though. Cause normally I love First Gautang's acting and stuff. I don't know. There's something about it I just didn't enjoy. But like I said, I'm glad other people enjoyed it. I'm super happy.
Ah,
Okay. So now we are on to Peach Lover. Peach Lover was from Thailand. It is on iQIYI. It is 10 episodes. They're all about, that same length, 45 minutes to an hour. It is romance, drama, and I'm just gonna add it has a sensual aspect to it.
it really does.
We're gonna play it safe on YouTube. And so yeah, I have many thoughts about this series, which I will get more into in the spoiler section. I think that it had its good points and it had its bad points. I think that Shiwin was the director. He has also directed Bedfriend, Middleman's Love, Deep Night, Playboy, War of Why. I feel like Shiwin's series always seem to have a deep message that he's trying to get across. He he always has something that he wants the audience to understand from his series. And personally, I think that that's a really cool thing. I think that it's a really good intention. And I just think that sometimes the way he tells the story to get that message across doesn't always land for people. I really enjoyed Deep Night. I thought Deep Night was crafted really well. I also have really enjoyed Bedfriend. I think Bedfriend was done really well, but some of the other stories, including this one, maybe had some issues in the storytelling. And, I don't know where that stems from. It could stem from the scriptwriters. It could stem from his, it might not just be his direction and his vision, but I do appreciate that all of his shows do have a deeper message that he's trying to get across. And yeah, we will go in more detail in the spoilers, but I would say this is not in my top series that he's done.
Okay. Who would like the show, do you think?
Who would like this show? I think, well, not to be crude, but if you like some NC scenes, you will enjoy the show. If you like characters who learn something about themselves, you would like the show. If you like people who become better because they meet someone else sort of thing, I think you would like the show. I feel like that's one of the main themes is that, this person makes me want to be better and makes me want to, just be a better person. And so I like that. Yeah.
There you go. Cool. All right. So the next one that ended is called My Stepbrother is My Favorite Novelist. And it is from Japan. It is on the Nooto YouTube channel, Nooto. It was only 4 episodes long. Episodes are super short, so you got like 40-minute total watch time for this series. It's romance, it's drama. The title says it all for the premise of this story. 2 stepbrothers move in together, and one discovers that the other is his favorite novelist. That's the essential premise of this show. The plot goes on from there. I think that the storyline was well done for 4 episodes. They really had the beginning, middle, end solidly. I felt like the chemistry for the main leads, to me, felt average.
Okay.
It dropped my personal and like chemistry is really in the eye of the beholder at the end of the day. So for me personally, their chemistry kind of fell down a little bit. And so that made the show feel a little bit more average because this show really was all about the chemistry. Like
Oh, okay.
1000%. That was the central plot was chemistry building. So when it felt flat for me, obviously the story just felt not as fun as it would have otherwise. However, the storytelling was well done.
Great.
So
Okay.
this would go in mid for me probably because of uh if the chemistry between the actors had been as high as the storytelling, it probably would have been like, up there. It would have been a great series for me.
Do
Everybody's a
you
little different about that.
do you feel like it was a good like stepbrother story? Because I feel like, I mean, we know that I don't like them, but I feel like there are
Mm-mm.
good ways to do them and maybe not as good ways to do them. Did you like how they crafted this one?
Well, we never met the stepbrothers' parents who were married. They're
Oh,
both adults. They both meet each other as adults. The one guy is living by himself in an apartment. The other guy joins him.
hmm.
And yeah, so there's no familial aspect to it other
Ah,
than it's mentioned at the beginning that their parents got married.
so if they didn't even mention the fact their parents got married, it could just be like two regular people are just like living
Yeah,
together, sort of thing. Interesting.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. That's very interesting.
A little different. Yeah, so this is not one of those where like two boys grow up together in the same household kind of
Hmm.
situation. It's not that. No.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I think one of the boys is in like college still. The other guy is not even in college, he's grown up making a living as a writer. So,
Okay.
yeah, so that's that one.
Cool.
You'd like this show, I guess if you enjoy Step Brothers romance. If you enjoy a little bit of like the writer is trying to write a BL. So, that's always fun. So if you like that kind of thing, then it's an easily consumed series. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, 40 minutes of your time. That's like nothing.
Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
All right. Okay, so the last finale we have for this week, we really did have a lot of finales. Cosmetic Play Lover season 2. This was from Japan. It is on Gaga Ulala. It's 10 episodes. They're about 25 minutes. It's romance drama and it is like an established relationship. So obviously they got together in season 1 and season 2 is what happens after.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I love these two actors. I think their chemistry is adorable
Okay.
and I love them in their relationship. The only the only thing that I would say that I was a little sad about was it felt like the writers were like, okay, so since the first season sort of focused on their relationship, in this season we're going to focus on their jobs. And I was like,
Oh,
it's fine because okay, yes, they're in a relationship and we do have to deal with jobs and work life and how to figure that stuff out. But
absolutely.
I would rather see like how does their work life affect their relationship and how does
Uh,
that like how is that part of the story if that makes sense. And to me that was only a little bit of it and so
oh
much of it was just
wow.
about them working and their own individual things they were doing like at work. And
Oh,
so
interesting.
yeah, so like it was interesting. I mean, they did interesting things in their jobs, but I just wanted to see a little more of how it affected them. And I wanted to see because my favorite part of a series is after they get together. So I wanted to see more cute
Mm-hmm.
moments with them. And we did start getting more cute moments towards the end of the season.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it was very cute. If you liked the first season, I think you would like the second season. If you didn't like the first season, I don't know if I'd recommend the second season just because it is sort of more of the same. They don't, there's not huge changes in the characters or anything like that. So if you
Mm.
didn't like the vibe of the first season, the second season might not be for you. But I think that if you like a very simple romance, if you like, very kind of soft, cute characters that like don't go through a lot of too much crazy drama,
Mm-hmm.
You know, they do have their moments of drama, but they're just very like healthy people who communicate, who like talk about their feelings, sort of thing. I think that you would
Okay.
enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's like you know, nothing crazy happens. They deal with some work stuff. I think that, you know, if you just want like a soft viewing series,
Mm-hmm.
it would be cute for you.
Well, there you go. Because I didn't vibe with season one, I actually didn't. I might have watched the first episode of season two. That's it. So I'm one of those who didn't watch season two. I also didn't watch Peach Lover in its entirety either. Both of
Well,
those
okay.
series weren't for me entirely. So you didn't watch Catch for Cash, and we're going to be doing that in the spoilers. And
Yes,
I didn't watch the entirety of Peach Lover, and we're going to be doing that in the spoilers. So this should be fun.
exactly. Great. We love this. Also says
Absolutely.
right. I also love when a series shows the life of an established couple. I agree because it's so fun to see how they navigate like once they start dating
Right.
and living together or whatever they're doing. It's like how do they interact afterwards? Like I just love that part of a series. And it's so rare that we get to see it, especially in Japanese shows because so many Japanese shows and Korean shows even for that matter end with the kiss. You know, they end with like
Mm-hmm.
okay, now we're together and then that's it. So it was like it was nice to see, you know, a couple that was already established. Um, but yeah, okay, great. What's
Nice.
next? Oh, that's it. So now we're
That's
into our
it.
spoiler section.
We are. So, if you haven't seen or don't want to talk about Cat for Cash, and if you haven't seen or don't want to talk about Peach Lover, you can leave now, or because we'll be delineating, do one first, then the other. You can leave in the middle if you've only seen one.
Yes, we'll do Cat for Cash first. So if you want to stay for Cat for Cash and then leave for Peach Lover, that's fine.
Absolutely. Okay, so if you are leaving now, it was a joy having you in our live today, and we are here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You know, you can clip it if you want to, whatever. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, friends. Thank you. All
And
right.
onwards into the spoilers. Here we
Yes.
go. Okay, before we get going, you and I haven't finished these series, one and the other. Do you care if I spoil the ending for you?
No, do it. That's fine.
And you can spoil the ending for me. Okay, so everybody, we are going to spoil these series for each other. Here we go. All right, so since I watched Cat for Cash, I'll take the lead on that, obviously. Um, Cat for Cash is a series about basically to me it's a series about healing. You know, at the very beginning, we have the cat cafe owner pass away, and her only son is like was meant to come home that night and he did not. And so throughout this show he's like struggling with guilt over kind of being a little bit estranged from his mom as a little bit more as an adult. He didn't spend as much time with her as he wished he had after it was all said and done. And, you know, a great deal of guilt for not having come home that night and seen her before she passed away. And the consequence of all of that is that, like, this random debt collector who, at the end of the day, he's a debt collector, but he also becomes like kind of a beloved person to the cat cafe owner. He is much loved. He loves the cats. He adores the cats, even though he's allergic.
You can't touch them,
Um,
but he adores them.
she passes on her powers. Yes, that is right, powers, because she can talk to the cats and hear what they say to him instead. Um, some cute things about the show. I think like it ends in someone passing away and it begins in someone passing away.
Oh, who passes away? Now I have to know.
So it is a classic pet story. At the end, a pet passes away, as is always the case in a classic pet
Oh,
story.
which cat
Um,
is it? Which one?
Granny, the
The one,
eldest.
the one that like loves him specifically and is like always with him.
Yes,
Of course it is. Of course it is. Ah,
right. But it's old age at the end of the day, right? She's
yeah.
at the end of her life. She's been with Lynx since he was a kid,
Why
right?
does Scout Dog always have to like be part of funerals?
And oh my gosh, like oh, okay. So that final episode, expect
Uh-huh.
tears, Granny Jew. Yeah, expect tears for like I was like sitting there sobbing this morning for
Oh no.
for half of the episode. It is really well done.
Oh.
A beautiful ending to the story. They do a great job of like pulling it all together, making us realize what a healing journey they're on.
Oh. You know what?
Lynx
Maybe
ends up
maybe
loving
I'll
the
like
cats.
maybe I'll force myself to get through it. Like maybe I'll just get through it till the ending. I don't know. I'm like everyone is saying how good
It
the
is
finale was.
it's such a beautiful journey, honestly, and it's soft. Obviously, the whole show is soft, but I could see it being better binged.
Hmm.
Because,
Maybe
we were
that's
talking about contrast earlier being better binged because it's soft,
yeah.
an easy story. This is like
Mhm.
that a little. I feel like this kind of story you can just sit in your feelings for like a day and
Mm.
really enjoy it in a single go. I could see that.
Maybe I'll try that. I think part of it was that, and maybe you can attest to this too. Like maybe you feel the complete opposite. I guess part of me felt like I think that for me, First and Cow Tongue are now dealing with the issue of being part of a pair for so long. I normally love their chemistry. I felt like their chemistry was very stale in this one. Like they
Oh,
already
so you.
like they already felt like they were in love. And there was
Mm,
no like excitement of like, oh, we're strangers and we just met and like now we're falling in love. It felt like we're already in love because we've been in love in the last 5 series and we're always going to be in love and we just love each other so much.
honestly, that might have been their, I don't know, they're coming across more in, okay, we're going on a little rant, but that's okay. This is the spoiler section. This is the moment where Delulu can come out.
Okay.
Um, but they're coming across as a little bit different lately in real life.
True. It's true. I
So
think
maybe
that
that's like translated a little bit to the on-screen chemistry.
maybe I just felt like because as an actor, like you want to see a little bit of you always want to see discovery. Like when actors do
Sure.
acting choices, you want to see them discovering things in the moment. And it just felt
Hmm.
very rehearsed to me, like they've done it so
Hmm.
many times before. And you know, it's not totally their fault. Like it is what happens when you've worked with someone for a long time because it's really
True.
tough to make it fresh and to make it new because and they're so close in real life too. It's like that on top of it, they just know everything about each other. So
Oh,
maybe to me that was part of it. I was just like, I'm bored watching them because I feel like there's no excitement to the romance. But I don't know. How did you feel?
there.
Did you feel excitement in the romance and I'm just crazy?
No. I didn't feel excitement in the romance, but that's not the main story that I was following, I don't think.
Ah, okay.
For me, it was more like Lynx, his character. We'll go with Lynx. His journey of self-discovery, his
Mm,
journey of healing, his journey of like figuring out all these things. And then when his half brother came into the picture, that was
mm-hmm.
interesting. And then when they went and dealt with their biological father, that was interesting. And so there's
Okay,
all these other parts of the story that I was following.
got
And
it.
for me, the romance was almost secondary.
Okay.
believe it or not, and not like, and I was like having fun with the cat behavior and the fact that even Lynx was doing the double eye blinks for I love you rather than like, I don't know, like there was some really cool cat behavior stuff in there that I was just really
Okay.
enjoying too. I don't know.
Okay.
I
I
was
mean,
like,
hey,
I was off in like a different world with that.
no, that's awesome. I mean, I can see that. I feel like, I guess for me, it felt like the romance was the main part of it, or maybe I don't know, I just couldn't get past it to get to the other parts. But no, that's
Mm.
cool to see the perspective, like other people's perspectives, because I can see that too, that like it was very focused
Well,
on Lynx and what he went through.
and you know, like the only person we'd have been missing the new discovery might would have been Lynx because Tiger was in love with that man before he met him.
Yes, but he should still have the discoveries of like different
So
ways to flirt with him. You know what I mean?
true, but the feelings to me, his feelings could feel older because they were. Even though there should be discovery, the feeling doesn't have to be new because he was already in it by the time Link showed up on the scene.
Fair, that's fair. I could see that. Yeah, I don't
Lynx was the
know.
one who needed to come into that. Like Lynx was the one who was the standoff cat who was just like,
Yeah.
no, I don't think so. Keep away from me.
Let's see. You have to force yourself, Beth. I did. I'm so glad I did. Okay, Val, I will. I can see, okay. There was not the new love romance because Lynx, okay. Cats are cool and seemingly aloof. If you think of the characters also being cats, Tiger, Lynx, even Leo, they're also playing cats, I think. I guess my other issue was I didn't fully believe Cao Dong's character. And that was the first time I could ever say that because he is such a good actor normally. I just felt like I felt like Lynx was written to be someone who was much more standoffish than Cao Tong came across. And maybe that's just me and my interpretation of the writing, but it just felt
Maybe.
like the scripts that they gave him, just I wanted him to be much more like cold and like not heartless, but I mean heartless in a way because that's what happened to him because of everything that, you know what I mean? And I just felt like even through that, I never felt that edge from Gao Dong that I wanted to see soften. Does that make sense? I felt like he was already too soft in the beginning. And then so when it softened for me, it was like not enough. But that could just be
Mm,
my personal opinion.
let's
Because
see.
I feel like you really enjoyed his journey.
I
So,
did.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I guess
And
this is,
Cal, I always saw him as a cat because Jay Meow put him at the top of the cat list. So
mm-hmm.
when he came onto the scene all slinky and cat-like, I was like, oh, he's a cat. Okay, yeah, no, she's right. He is very much cat behavior.
Mm,
Um, down to the don't touch me without permission, or else you're going to get
yeah.
plucked kind of
Mm.
situation. You know, he's that cat. And so let's see what do we have in the comments. Many DeLorean, many series show the main conflict is the couple getting together, but this was more about them as a couple dealing with other things. I was glad
Okay.
that them getting together wasn't too complicated. Yeah, that part is true. A lot of the story was them, even when they weren't declared as a couple, they were still handling things as if they were a couple.
Okay.
Good point.
Yeah.
And then Valerie's like, I had a cat like his character. He nailed it. Okay.
Okay. That's cool. See, you know, having that personal connection sometimes like brings you into it more too.
It's true.
DeLorean says their next series, Cal needs to have a mother. I know. Oh my gosh, this poor boy always has parent trauma every time.
What is that anyway?
They're just too good at doing drama. That's the issue.
But he
like
does the funeral so well, and the final funeral for the cat was just the song. Oh my God, the song they sang.
oh I will never.
It's stunning. If that cover doesn't, if Cowtongue singing that cover doesn't end up on Spotify, it was on YouTube this morning, and I know that GMMTV likes leaving it on YouTube for a while before putting it on the listening platforms.
You know,
That cover had better be on Spotify. That's all I have to say about that.
I need to watch just that when he sings, because I will never forget the scene where he sings in Moonlight Chicken.
Oh my gosh.
Was literally a puddle. Like, I
right.
Like, you could see, and they even showed in behind the scenes footage that like all the extras in that scene were crying because of how
everyone was crying.
Like, oh,
Cal made everybody cry.
Everyone cry. And like, I'm sure that this scene is just as moving. I cannot with him and crying and funerals. No, thank you.
If this had been 12 episodes, DeLorean says, then there would have been more time for edgy links. That is a good point.
True, that's true. I guess I don't know.
Had a whole extra episode of him being like edgy and like swiping and like don't touch me.
Right? I just feel like I don't know why I wanted him to be more edgy. Maybe it was just the script. I just felt like he seemed like someone, they made him seem like someone who was so cold and mean to his mom. And then when he came in, it just felt like I couldn't see that side of him. Like he was supposed to be this like cold like person who completely cut her off and just does like translating things and is like in this corporate world of like and I guess I never felt enough of that, but I don't know.
We also went directly into her passing away and a funeral and his guilt over all of that. So like there was no room for edgy cold links. There was only room for heartbroken, guilt-stricken links. The name of the song, it's in Thai. It's not in English, but when I looked up, you might be able to look up "Cover" by Cowtongue. You might be able to look up. I looked up "Cat for Cash" OST, and it was one of them. The picture is him singing into the microphone. Here you can kind of see what the title is a little bit.
Well, it's going to be on the TV music channel, right? Like the
GMMTV official, not music. They just pulled it out of episode 10. It even has episode 10 on the title.
So it's like a highlight of episode 10 is where the song is.
It says cover by, so not highlight. It does say cover by Cowtongue. And it does say episode 10 on it.
I'm surprised they didn't put it on the music channel. Well, maybe that's why people couldn't find it on YouTube. So it is on the regular GMMTV channel. It should be one of the first videos that's on there. So
probably, unless they had a variety show in the evening or something.
True. Yeah.
It'll probably still be the first thing on there. One of the first things.
Well, cool.
Okay, so there's that. Okay, so I do have a question because it seems like a lot of people have watched it. Who's everyone's favorite cat?
I like, what's his name? The black cat. Is it John Wick?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
The one who like ran away and was hiding.
Yeah.
He's like the security cat. I like him.
I like Jumeau.
Okay.
Like the mischievous cat. The cat that's kind of into everything.
Was he the one that was young? That was always okay.
Just a baby.
Okay. Who's everyone else's favorite cat? We want to know.
Love it. And also favorite characters for that matter. Let's do a little bit of a fave thing. Favorite cat, favorite characters. If you had a favorite moment. Obviously, the second half of the last episode is going to stick with me for a while. So it's not a moment, but it's a whole half of an episode that I would call really just so good. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
And then favorite character, I don't know.
You have to
Everybody
pick one.
was so well done. Link's maybe because Link's character arc. I know that you were like meh, and I'm like, well, I kind of liked his character arc, to be honest.
No, hey, it's, you know, it is in the eye of the beholder. Like, especially
Right?
acting is so, there are basic things in acting that have to happen, but so much of it is so subjective for people's opinions.
True.
But, like, I can watch a performance and be like, oh my gosh, I saw all the nuances and all the little things in their performance. And then someone else will watch it and they'll be like, oh my God, it was so boring. And I'll be like, what did you just watch? But, like, literally, it's so subjective. So, you know,
It's
it's
true.
fine. Like,
The new cat was so cute. Yes, the new cat in the final episode was adorable. That's true.
oh, there was a new one at the end.
Yeah, a little guy.
Cute.
The mom
Yeah.
and Granny Jew. Granny, aw.
Valerie,
Ah.
did you cry so hard then today?
How many people cried their eyes out? Do you all need a virtual hug?
Literally,
Because
hugs for all.
hugs for everybody. I admit that it didn't get me quite as badly as episode 4 of Every Me and Every You.
The only thing that beats that for me are last Twilight and in Kenji-Ra, I don't want to spoil, but when there was a death in that, I was sobbing for a good, like, for a very long time.
Every You and Every Me just got me like viscerally in my core, and it was so interesting because literally everybody, you know, sometimes people don't cry, sometimes people do, right?
Yeah,
But I feel like the whole internet was sobbing that day.
Yes. Literally everyone I've spoken to about that show is like, oh my God, episode 4. Like it will live in for people who know that show, it will live in people's memories forever. And if you haven't watched that show, you need to go watch episode 4. Well, would it be episodes 3 and 4, or is it 4 and 5?
Yeah, that's the arc.
It's 3 and 4, yeah. You have to watch.
Actually, you should just go watch the whole thing because it's so freaking unique.
I mean,
that show's a little different.
You should watch the whole thing, but if you really don't want to, at least watch episodes 3 and 4, because literally you will. Oh, it's just.
The last time I checked, it was on Gaga Ooh La La. Go find it, watch it.
It's 100%. Just magic. Pop's acting in that role too was just so. I was like, oh. Anyways,
we've gone on a tangent.
I know. Val says I cried really hard. Please hugs all around. Cognac girl, my eyes are still swollen. No. Well, put some cucumbers on you.
Hugs for everybody. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
The last meeting of mom and son was brutal and triggering. Oh man, that was so cool though. So much healing, guys. They had
like a mom ghost moment.
They did. Yeah.
Was it like the goddess mom ghost moment? Because that one really got me too.
I think it was more because it was Cow Tongue, you know, and he's just really good at those moments.
He's the sensitive child. He really is.
They cry at a drop of a hat. That was fun part of seeing them in the Heart Killers in New York. Was watching them cry at the drop of a hat.
Oh my God, 2 boys on stage. Oh man.
I was like, I got to see it live. Yay, my life is fulfilled. I don't know. For some reason, like, because you see them crying and everything. And so to get to catch that. Anyway, okay.
All right. Have we discussed all of Cat for Cash? Should we move on to Peach Lover? I think
so. I think we're moving on.
All right. For anyone who does not want to talk about Peach Lover, thank you so much for joining us. But please stay. So Peach Lover. I have so many feelings. Let's start with some good things. So there are some people who are like, what are these AI paintings that are happening? And honestly, I enjoyed them. Like, I'm normally not someone who's like, yay, AI, but it was just a really cool way to show what they were talking about. I do wish that they did. Now, granted, I didn't research every single painting that they showed. So some of them might be real. Excuse me. I hope that some of them were real. because I would have liked to see like the paintings and the use of the peach as like a symbol in real life. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it came from real life. I feel like these metaphors and things came from real life. And so I hope that some of the paintings were real that we saw in the beginning, maybe. Because I'd like to see how they were actually depicted back then. And if it was really a big thing where it was, you know, used as a symbol for desire and all this stuff that they talked about.
Sure.
I really liked that. I liked that part. I also enjoyed the peach metaphor part. I know some people, you know, online were like, oh my gosh, why are they like doing this diatribe about peaches and blah, blah. But I really enjoyed the symbolism. I liked the, you know, I'm a more analytical person. And so I liked the fact that they were giving us all these metaphors about peaches and how they felt, like how it, you know, it always related to the story in some way in that episode. And so I really enjoyed that. And I liked that, you know, I could tell again that Shiwen had a message that he was trying to get across. And I really enjoyed that. But some things that
Are you talking about the moments after the directed by thing comes out and then they go into this whole like psychoanalyst thing?
Yeah, there's always something where it's like, you know, peaches, when they are ripe, then they do this and blah, 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 blah. But when they're not ripe and they fall from the tree, then, you know, blah, 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 blah. And it was always something that would parallel what was happening in the episode, you know, like the journey the characters were going through and stuff like that. And so, I don't know, I enjoyed that. I felt like that was really cool. Also to tie in the theme of like the peach in general, I don't know. I just, yeah, I liked that a lot. But
that part was interesting. All the episodes I saw, I definitely, because you could have skipped that part, right? Because after the directed thing, so if you didn't want to watch it, you could. But yeah, I enjoyed that part. That was interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't always at the end either. Sometimes it was in the beginning.
Oh, wasn't it?
Yeah, sometimes it was in the beginning of an episode, or sometimes it would be in the middle too. Like they would cut a scene and then they would cut to like one of the little diatribes and then continue.
See, the middle part would have bothered me. I wonder, yeah. I don't think I got so far as to get to one where there was a middle one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I felt like they transitioned into them pretty well, but I don't know. That's just how I felt. But I feel like one of the things that I did not like, and this could be just me again too, because I feel like this is another thing where like, you know, I had issues with Kautang in Cat for Cash. I had issues with Poom in this one. And I don't think it's Poom's fault for his acting. I think that he honestly did the best that he could. This was another thing where like personally I felt like the script was asking, and or maybe not even just the script, but the vision that Shiwen had, or the vision that the acting coach had, was making Poom do a lot of like feminine presenting gestures, which is totally fine. But it just, the way that they crafted the character felt like they wanted it to be someone who is like Kuhart or like Kim from Dumandi, like just someone who's very feminine presenting. And that's fine if that's what you want. And Poom did have moments where I did believe him in that way of acting, but it wasn't consistent. And I know that some people will say, well, people who are like that aren't going to act feminine all the time. And I'm like, yes, that is true. However, people who are generally more feminine presenting or even more masculine presenting, even when they do something that's maybe not as feminine or not as masculine, like they step away from what they normally show, it's still a little different and has a little different vibe than someone who is like super, super masculine presenting. Like if that makes sense. Like the best example I can give is there was a guy on The Boyfriend season 1 who was this big buff dude. He was tall. He was the most muscular person I'd ever seen in my life. But he was the softest human ever. Like he would come into the room and just like have his hands like this and be like, hello, and like just be very, very soft. But he had this huge muscular build. So like even him, when he would sit down and he would look like he had like a muscular stance or a more masculine stance, he still looked different and felt different than someone who like isn't soft, if that makes sense. So it's like, even when Poom was doing things where it's like, okay, he's being a little less feminine presenting here, it almost felt like he reverted back to his normal self, which Poom's normal self is like a little more masculine presenting, I would say. And so it just felt very disjointed to me. Like in some scenes, he'd be sitting with his legs open and he would be like super, you know, like Mr. Buff guy and like, you know, kind of being more aggressive with the opposite character. But then in some scenes he would be like this and he would be like putting his, you know, hair behind his ear. And like, again, everyone has different sides of themselves, but even within that, like, you would
it felt too drastic.
Yeah, it's not going to be that drastic. It's going to be like more within the same world. And so I think he just had an issue with finding that world all the time. And yeah, and so that was always taking me out of the scene. I was like, because honestly, I don't know how the novel is. I don't know how the character is supposed to be or how they envision him to be. I feel like Poom could have just been himself and would have been fine. Like, I don't think none of the script really screamed like, oh my God, I have to be feminine and cute. So I was like, I kind of wish that they had just kind of let him be his natural self, or like even not push it so far, because I feel like it would have been fine and like it wouldn't have felt so off-putting to me, you know. But that's just me. I really did enjoy the acting of the other actor though. His name is Key, I believe. It's like he was really good. I don't know. I mean, again, Poom tried his best, but I feel like he was a really good casting for this part, and also not traditional casting, because normally I feel like for this part, it would probably normally be someone who is very tall and very like imposing with an aura, like someone who's very like, you know, physically imposing. But he's actually not short, but he's pretty short for an actor. And so I enjoyed that he was still imposing even in his step. And like, he still gave off that aura of someone who, you know, you might be intimidated by, or you might be afraid of a little bit, even though he's like shorter and smaller than like maybe a classic traditional person who'd be cast in this part. And so I really enjoyed that. I love when people can kind of step out of their stereotypes a little bit. I was like, oh wait, you're like actually acting this really well. And I really liked their chemistry. And so I feel like there were like good things and bad things, you know. It's like I liked some of the acting and I liked some of the moments they had, but I just felt like the storytelling really fell flat for me. I felt like they had too much going on. Like there was a kidnapping, there were crazy, like his father came in and had a couple moments where like his dad was trying to do all these crazy things, but I felt like he wasn't in the story enough where we cared. And then, you know, there was this guy who got sent to jail where I still don't know who he was. Like it was this whole big thing, like the one character sent the guy to jail for the other character. And then the other character was like, oh my gosh, you did this for me. And I was like, who is this man and why does he matter?
So that's a lesson, and I haven't gotten that far. That's a lesson in continuity. Yeah, like you really like, if you're going to throw something at people, you need to like insert pieces of it early on and like weave it in slowly, so that by the time you hit this point, you're like carrying. Otherwise, it's like out of left field, and you're like, why?
What's going on? And also, the other issue I had with the storytelling was the side couple. I thought they were super cute, and they felt a little like a side thought, which made me sad because I enjoyed their chemistry. But the other issue I had was that like they were, so the side couple were the bodyguard of Key's character, the bodyguard of like the main guy, and then the best friend of Poom's character. So I was waiting the entire show for the big reveal when they end up meeting each other, and they're like, oh my God, like you're dating my friend, and like, oh my God, you're dating like his, you know what I mean? Like you're dating the bodyguard, like what? And that never happened. It never happened. They never interacted. After the side couple got together, they never interacted with the main characters ever again. And I was like, what happened? So that was a thorn in my side, just because I was waiting for it. You know, I was waiting for those reactions because I thought they would be fun, but it never happened. And so I was sad. But you know, like I said, I do feel like I enjoyed that she tried to get a message across. I enjoyed the peach metaphors. I enjoyed the AI paintings. I enjoyed, you know, like Key's acting was really good.
Cool.
Yeah, it was, you know, just mainly the storytelling that I had an issue with. Let's see what else people said. Peach Lover wasn't my thing. It felt like posturing and posing and heavy-handed with some of the messaging. It is true. I feel like Shiwin was trying to get the message across and was pretty heavy-handed in a lot of it. The acting felt stiff in places, and the second couple was just cheesy. The second couple was very cheesy. It's true. This is very true. I haven't seen the last 2 episodes, though. I like Poom enough to hope it got better. I know. That was the thing, because I loved Poom in the show he did with Saint. I honestly thought that Poom was so good in that, but I think it's because I don't know, I just like that character was really good for him, you know? And I will say, he even said in interviews that the character in Peach Lover was very opposite from him and very hard to do. So I will give him credit for like I really do think he did the best he could. Like, you know, I'm not perfect.
Out of his comfort zone.
Exactly. Like, I'm not a perfect actor either. I'm sure I would also have the same continuity issues, especially when you film out of order and stuff like that, you know, like that would be really tough. So I give him credit for that. But yeah, like I really liked him in that show. I can't remember the name of it right now.
My Sweetheart Jom.
Yes. He was so good. And so yes, I hope they got better too. But I do think that these 2 actors have chemistry. So if they decide to work together again on another series, I would watch it. I would definitely watch it because I think that they are super comfortable with each other and they seem super fun. And so I liked that part. Cognac Girl says it wasn't horrible or great, but there were parts that I liked about it. Yeah, exactly. I'm also glad that Vin's character, Mean, is Vin the one that was Poom's character's friend in the second couple? He ended up with someone in the end because he was the one, if that's the person I'm thinking of, he was the one that didn't end up with someone in Step by Step. They like didn't end up together and I was so upset about it. So I think
that was one of the things that everybody was angry about in that show.
Yes. They didn't get together and they were so cute. Like their chemistry was fire in that one. The second couple in Step by Step, they were so good. I think Poom would have been great. Okay, yes, Cognac Girl. Yes, that is the character. I'm glad that he got a character, you know, a couple in the end too. Because I like his acting. I guess his name is Vin. Vin's character. I like his acting. I think that he's good. I'm still salty about that, right? I'm salty too, because they had one of the best kiss scenes. I loved that scene where they were on the bed and they just like slowly went in and then like he pushed away because he, you know, was like, wait, like this can't happen. It was such a good scene. Anyways.
Honestly, I'm salty about Step by Step in general because I loved that show. So much so that I was writing a fan fiction during it.
Oh my
gosh. They botched, to me, they completely botched the ending. The last 3 episodes were so, like, I was like, what happened? No. And then I didn't finish that fan fiction.
Crazy. I can't even remember the ending, honestly, because it was a little bit ago. But maybe I didn't like it either because I don't remember it. I feel like I remember the middle
I just remember it was botched. I don't really exactly remember what it was. I just remember it was botched.
Right?
Anyway.
Says, I think Poom would have been great in that role, but with a better script. Maybe that's what it is too, you know, because if you don't have a lot to work with, or if you have, because it's also possible, like I did notice that the script also sort of seemed a little like disjointed, like because if the script is telling you one thing about your character but you know that like to make it continuous, because it is possible that like the script maybe didn't give him a continuous character either, and so he was having trouble connecting it and making it make sense, because there were moments when his character was a little more aggressive, you know, if you want to call it that, or more soft. And so it's possible too that like, I mean, when actors don't have good material to work with, it's really tough on them too. So that's a really good point. So yeah, I think that it had an interesting premise that could have potentially been either told better or expanded on better. I'm not really sure how it could be. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know how I could make it better. I just know that the way it was told didn't work for me. You know, I'm like, I'm not sure what they could have done, but I hope that, you know, Poom gets to work with that actor again. I don't know, is Poom still part of Idol Factory? Are we aware? I'm like, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I feel like
I
Idol
don't- I
Factory
mean, I feel like Idol Factory
is like going
is more or
bankrupt.
less at the end.
Is dead. Yeah, I think so too, because like, I mean, obviously Billy and Babe are out, and then some of
I
the
mean,
some
Saint
of the
himself
women
jumped ship.
what oh yeah, Saint jumped ship, obviously. And then
And
I think
he was the founder, so the founder
yeah,
jumped ship. But that
yeah.
company is
And it sounds like they hadn't paid Freen and Becky for 80 years or something like that. And so
yeah.
I don't think those ladies are involved with them anymore. So yeah, I think we talked about this, like Babe and Billy both have their own production companies now.
Yeah.
So
they're off on their own thing.
yeah, it's the end of an era a little bit, but I guess we'll see what new exciting things happen out of it,
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
and maybe one of their production companies will take off or something. Who knows?
All right, guys, I think we're just about out of time today.
Yeah. But this was so fun. Thank you all for staying and chatting. I enjoy seeing other people's perspectives on things. It's really awesome. So thank you.
Absolutely. And our new episode of Only Friends Dream On, we have episode 3 reaction coming very soon.
Yes, it is literally uploaded right now. I am just waiting on GMMTV approval. So I will probably be able to release her to the wild like tonight. So we'll see.
Exciting. And we'll be watching episode 4 tonight. So that'll be coming out next week. We're having so much fun with that show. So be sure to check out our reactions.
Yes,
working hard on that. And then also, see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.